Yo, 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 what is up? I am live. Like it or not. Looking for my earphone case so I can put that away. And that's the way I'm prepared. As you can see, there's a little bit of construction going on behind me. There is so happens here next to the Think Home store and the Rethink Home Studios, actually a dog school. And school can get quite loud. So, taking some of the panels, well, Michael is taking panels from the that we had bought back for the for the show, and is putting those panels up on the wall. Oh, our sign that's usually right here is not here tonight, so we'll put that back up once he gets the thing done. So put some more decoration. We can decorate this wall pretty good, I think. Get some decorations. Hey, as I was leaving the fair last night, I bought some spices, and I got this cool bag. Check this out. Had a cool, like it's kind of like a Crown Royal bag, only it's red, which of course is my favorite color. So I'm like, you know what? I can find a use for that. Whether I put a microphone in it or something, I will find a use for this bag. I brought it here today. Yes, I did. I bought it. So what is happening? Had a really good day at the fair yesterday. That was kind of cool. Fair was fun. We got to kind of see the pumpkin weigh in. Of course, there were a lot of, we had a bunch of pumpkin fairies blocking our way. Hey, pumpkin fairies, you're kind of blocking our access, man. We can't see the pumpkin weigh in. All the pumpkin fairies around. So that was fun. And then got to see the dog show at the fair. That was pretty cool. So yeah, that was a good time. Very good time. So yeah. But oh, you know what? Go. What's going on out there? Let's see. We've got. Heard there's a police chase going on in LA, of course, because that's the police chase capital of the world. Oh, yep. Video. Oh, did have a video. They got him.
Of wrong direction, high speed into oncoming cars on not. Fortunately, none of those vehicles were struck.
Oh, it just ended.
Wow. Team going up to the truck now.
They're going up to the car to check it out, see if there's anybody in there. Door. Nope.
They're going to clear it, and that's going to do it.
Oh, it looks like that truck got some damage.
There along with the Anaheim police, but wow, what a pit maneuver.
Wow. They pitted him.
How it skidded out of control here right across lanes. Fortunately, no one
was look at that.
Northbound at the time. The driver having
you can see the skid marks there.
Disabled, and the driver.
Yeah, we can't go back in time and see it.
High-speed chase on the freeways and then on surface streets here through Buena Park and Anaheim, ending here at Magnolia and Poinsettia Lane.
Interesting. All right. Well, that police chief. Dang it. I was thinking maybe we had some fun. Let's see. What all do I have? I've got things that I've kind of bookmarked. Wanted to talk about Mark Zuckerberg. No, Mark Zuckerberg, the main guy from, take a look at old Mark here, Facebook account, though. Come out and said some interesting things here recently. Basically, he sent a letter to the committee of the judiciary committee of the United States Congress. Take a look at this letter. You guys can see that, and let's read through what old Mark Zuckerberg has to say about his past deeds. Because I mean, the reason I want, and the reason I decided to film my show is because of this whole part of the government trying to get involved with telling people what they can and can't say. That is my biggest thing. So Mark has come forward and said, "Hey, Chairman Jordan, I appreciate the committee's interest in content moderation on online platforms. As you are aware, Meta has produced thousands of documents as part of your investigation and made a dozen employees available for transcribed interviews. Further to our cooperation with your investigation, I welcome the opportunity to share what I've taken away from this process. There's a lot of talk right now about how the U.S. government interacts with companies like Meta, and I want to be clear about our position. Platforms are for everyone. We're about promoting speech and helping people connect in a safe and secure way. Part of this, we regularly hear from governments around the world and others with various concerns around public discourse and public safety." Okay. I mean, governments have a valid interest in public safety. Public discourse, you're getting into a little bit of a gray area, especially in the United States. Now, other governments don't operate the United States way. Other governments don't have a First Amendment as strong as our First Amendment. They have never had it, will never have it. There are a lot of governments that can and are a lot more strict on what their people can say, especially like the UK right now. The UK has just gone freaking completely nutcase crazy. So, okay, so we've got one thing real quick here. Sorry. Apologize. Right with you. With you folks. We go. Distracted by my own things here. All right. So public discourse, public safety, okay. I get that. In 2021, senior officials from the Biden administration, including the White House, repeatedly pressured our teams for months to censor certain COVID-19 content, including humor and satire, and expressed a lot of frustrations with our teams when we didn't agree. Ultimately, it was our decision whether or not to take content down. and we own our decisions, including COVID-19 related changes we made to our enforcement in the wake of this pressure. I believe the government pressure was wrong, and I regret that we were not more outspoken about it. I also think we made some choices that, with the benefit of hindsight and new information, we wouldn't make today. Yeah, but would you? I mean, the government telling you that something is a public safety or public health hazard or whatever has strong implications, as we found out. Like I said to our teams at the time, I feel strongly we should not compromise our content standards due to pressure from an administration in either direction, and we're ready to push back if something like this happens again. Okay. In a separate situation, the FBI warned us about a potential Russian disinformation operation about the Biden family in Burisma in the lead up to the 2020 election. The FBI. The FBI is weighing in on political decisions. That's all there is to it. That fall, when we saw a New York Post story reporting on corruption allegations involving then Democrat presidential nominee Joe Biden's family, we sent that story to fact checkers for review and temporarily demoted it while waiting for a reply. It's since been made clear that the reporting was not Russian disinformation, and in retrospect, we shouldn't have demoted the story. Changed our policy and process to make sure this doesn't happen again. For instance, we no longer I can't say that word. Temporarily demote things in the US while waiting for fact checkers. I want to believe Mark. I do. I want to believe him. Apart from content moderation, I want to address contributions I made during the last presidential cycle to support electoral infrastructure. The idea here was to make sure local election jurisdictions across the country had the resources they need to help people vote safely during a global pandemic. I made these contributions through the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. They were designed to be nonpartisan, spread across urban, rural, and suburban communities. Still, despite the analysis I've seen showing otherwise, I know that some people believe this work benefited one party over the other. It did. It absolutely did. 100%. My goal is to be neutral and not play a role in any other way or even to appear to be playing a role. So I don't plan on making a similar contribution this cycle. It's okay, Mark. There are other people that will step in and fill the void where you have left them hanging out. I am very sure of that there are no lack of billionaires that will jump in there and make sure that the democratic process is fair. Uh-huh. Sure. So, I don't so we see here at the House Judiciary, GOP have tweeted out, this was a few days ago, it was yesterday actually. Biden-Harris administration pressured Facebook to censor Americans. They did that. Facebook censored Americans. They did that. Facebook throttled the Hunter Biden laptop story. They did that. So, yeah. And then, this is the CEO of Rumble, which is on the hit list. So, right now, for a second, right now there are some websites that are on the hit list. And in another thing, the government of France, let's take a look at that. So this is Pavel Durov. He originally was a Russian. He created this app called Telegram. And I'm not on Telegram. I've never had a Telegram account. But from what I've read up, Telegram, it just seems like there is a lot of misinformation out there about what Telegram is. A lot of people call Telegram a messaging app, right? Like it's an encrypted messaging app is what a lot of people call it. And that's been the story that this Pavel Durov was arrested in France because on one side they're saying that was arrested because he would not give the government of France a back door so they could get in and look at the encrypted messages. Now, a lot of other people are saying that there is a lot of outlawed content that gets shared on Telegram. That's the case on a bunch of different apps. Like there are multiple apps right now that have same illegal information that aren't having their founders arrested. A lot of it has to do with child exploitation that they're saying there's a lot of that on there. Now, what I have learned as well is on Telegram that there are not you're not able to um encrypt group messages. So there's a lot of people thinking that there's these big groups of people that get on Telegram and their messages are all um that their messages are encrypted and they're sharing all this bad stuff on there, and that's just not happening. It's not happening on Telegram because the encryption is only for messages that are one person to one person. So what the thought is this is another, this is a government that's basically mad because they can't get in and see who's doing what in this app. And so they've actually, I mean, they're threatening that this guy is going to be going to prison for a long time, like 20 plus years. Not sure what the latest is. We'll do a quick search and see. I should probably hide that because a lot of times these searches don't show the best stuff to begin with. I don't want just something to pop up. Oh, this did. Okay, so I did see this today, though, that the United Arab Emirates was set to buy 80 fighter jets from France, but they have frozen the implementation of that contract. So how it just seems to me like at some point in time, we were all going along in our little universe, and then there was something that happened that, like, split off all these dimensions, right? And us people that are in this timeline right now, are in this whacked out timeline of craziness. Because what timeline is the United Arab Emirates standing up for free speech over France? What world does that make any kind of sense? It doesn't. It just doesn't make sense. It was a $10 million contract. They've frozen it. Let's take a look here. This is Al Jazeera. And after the arrest of a businessman, Pavel Durov, in Paris, known that the UAE Prime Minister vetoed the continuation of action on the contract. Interesting. Experts believe that the contract freeze directly related to you. Oh, okay. So he is a UAE citizen. I did not know that. There we go. I like how we're off here to the side. We've got 12,000 plus watching Turtle Boy in the case of O'Keefe. Almost 900 people there on Chrissy Mayer, and we've got 3. But that's all right. We're going to keep doing this. we're going to keep building. I did want to show you guys, though, what's really cool is we are on the way to 1,000 followers. Kind of excited about that. 1,000 people. Almost 976. Now we've stalled out on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We need to build our subscribers up on YouTube. We were going along, we were kicking butt, and then it's just kind of fallen off. But that's all right. My content hasn't been, I've been trying to do good content, but a lot of people like the Karen Reed stuff that I was doing, and I got to figure out that formula and get back to it. But yeah. But we're closing in on 1,000 follows here on X, which is very cool. And I need to post more here. So, all right. So, he had a direct contract done. So, he is a UAE citizen. Okay. So he was granted citizenship in 2021. That makes sense. So they were going to get some F4 fighters for $10 billion, and they have now canceled that or put that on hold. Interesting. All right, should probably knock out the music there, hopefully. So, yeah, the UAE is standing up for free speech and one of their citizens, obviously. So, but yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. And let's see, it's 900 million users, so almost 1 billion users of Telegram. I did not know that. On April 16th, he actually sat down for an interview with Tucker. So interesting. See what we got here.
Messaging apps, text apps in the world, popular all around the world, including in the United States, but almost nothing or very little seems to be known about the company. It's
like I said, 900 million people on it. I'm not on it.
By the end
so
of this, next year, I was the best student.
I know he was Russian, and Putin wanted it to, have a piece of it and be able to get in there. And he said no to him. He said, no, Putin, you can't do that. And then he left Russia and obviously became a UAE citizen in 2021. So that's great. So yeah, so Mark Zuckerberg Mark Zuckerberg has said he is going to not try and censor as much anymore. So I think this is this here. So this is Dr. Mary Talley Bowden said Mark Z told the Judiciary GOP that he's changed his ways censorship thing of the past on Meta. So she tested that claim. She put this. I rarely post due to issues with censorship, but Mark Z assured Congress censorship is the thing in the past. Oh, so she put a bunch of stuff about the virus. Okay. Yeah, so check out that. Not going to read that, but you can see that there on X or on Meta from Mary Talley Bowden. Not that I care because, but yeah, so Mary Bowden is a physician based in Houston, Texas. She's an ear, nose, and throat ENT specialist. Gained attention for her views on early treatment and opposition to vaccine mandates. All right. So yeah, she's testing out the new Zuckerberg still going to be Mr. Censor or no? So, all right. And I got another one that I'm watching for. And that is, we've talked in the past about the mayor of Dalton. Where is that? So, Mayor Tiffany Henyard of Dalton. And it seems that one of her trustees is now turning on her. So she is the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, and she's also the not the mayor, but the supervisor of Thornton Township. So she's got both things, and she has just basically been spending like a drunken sailor. So let's take a peek here.
South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard has lost another key ally. Until recently, Henyard enjoyed near unanimous support on the Thornton.
So the Dalton board. Oh, Pavel, yeah, he's still alive. He's still in prison. Yeah, he bucked Putin. So, obviously he's not got some intestinal fortitude, but yeah. So Tiffany, so the Dalton Township Board is definitely against her, but the Thornton Township Board were pretty much still was running that.
Thornton Township Board.
It sounds like
now trustee Carmen Carlisle says after trusting Henyard and remaining silent.
And so I guess she even said this in a public meeting that she bagged on Tiffany, and Tiffany didn't like it.
She will be a whistleblower against Henyard. Carlisle released a statement to WGN that reads in part, for the past 2 years, Henyard has manipulated employees, vendors, and residents using her position to increase her influence, all while projecting a false image of success funded by the hardworking taxpayers of Thornton.
Somebody figured out that, yep, I should probably not back this person anymore.
Township and the village of Dalton. Henyard shows no accountability or conscience for her actions against employees or taxpayers. Henyard has denied wrongdoing and claims her opponents are out for what she calls clickbait. Tomorrow at 9, tune in for exclusive new reporting on Henyard's spending that she tried to keep secret.
And so it sounds to me like WGN went to court and has got some new information about the credit card charges that were billed to the Dalton taxpayers. And the Henyard's administration has fought to keep them hidden, but they been released. So I was hoping that we would see that on here and we could show it tonight, but I'm not seeing it. So we might have to be on Thursday, because I don't see where they've gotten anything out here yet. Waiting to see. There's some video that's going to pop up here in a second. And that's about burglary, so that's okay. So yeah, it sounds like WGN has got some footage about where the credit cards were spent. So that's going to be an interesting thing. And then there was another one though that I thought I had saved about her coming up tonight. Did I save it or no? Maybe I didn't save it. Dang it. All right, let me see. thought she was going to give an interview. The whistleblower, the new whistleblower on for Tiffany. So here is the WGN teaser about that. Let's see.
Tuesday, the financial records Tiffany Henyard doesn't want you to see.
What is that?
No comment.
After a court battle to prevent their release, what new documents reveal? Ben Bradley reports. WGN investigates. Tuesday at 9.
Yes. So hopefully we get to see that here soon, and we'll try and look at that on Thursday. There was another one here. Let me pull that back up again. Latest. Here. All right, this is not anything. I don't want to show this. Yeah, so I mean, the meetings she runs are just insane. I mean, just absolutely insane, the meetings that she runs. It's just crazy if you've seen any of these things. I mean, she is so nuts. And so hopefully and that's what we talk about too, is who is there to hold her accountable. We haven't seen it yet. There's been nobody there to hold her accountable. So we've got a mayor just running rampant, basically stealing from her constituents, running up credit card debt, not filing the information that she needs to file with the state, not following the law as far as how she is supposed to get approval for filings, not following any of the guidelines that are in place, the city charters or anything, as far as how she's supposed to do it. She's supposed to get approval for a lot of these things, but she's not paying vendors. You know, there are vendors that she's not paying. They're just going on and not being paid at all. So I don't know. It's crazy. Just, you would hope someone like that can get held accountable at some point in time. Somehow you find a way to hold that person accountable. And so sorry, got distracted there. So yeah, it looks like she has, I mean, as of right now, she's getting away with it. Oh, okay. So a thing just popped up here. This is Jay, a guy named Drunk 3PO. Who was really funny guy. And he's getting so close to 100,000 subscribers. And YouTube took his monetization away. But it sounds like he was able to get his channel remonetized. So that's really good. I like to see that, because he had trouble getting an actual person to take a thing. There's another guy, Legal Vices, who is a lawyer over in Korea who somehow got his I can find it. I mean, he got a 7-day banning from YouTube or a 7-day suspension for supposedly putting up a community post, because on Facebook you can, or not Facebook, YouTube, you can put up these community posts, and I've been trying to use them. And he supposedly put one up that had something bad in it and then supposedly deleted it, but he never put one up. He never deleted it. But they said that he can't appeal it because he deleted it, but he never actually deleted it. And so they suspended him for an entire week. And so he's still got a couple days left on his suspension. So he's a really great creator. One of the ones I really like. All right, stand by. I got to do something. 2-minute break here, or a 1 break, or 30-second break. Actually. All right, so I brought up our lovely profile go. I brought up the fact that we are closing in on 1,000 followers on X, which is really cool. Hopefully we'll blow that up here soon. Got to figure out a way to make that happen. I don't know. And figure it out every day. But we're getting there. Slowly but surely we're gaining followers. And we're putting out stuff. I need to put up some my most recent pinned videos from July 21st. So I should probably pin something newer. But there's been a conversation recently about X and how. So Elon Musk has said, hey, we are working on highlighting more banger content from currently small X accounts. Our current algorithm shows too much from accounts that are big already. And so some of these people that have answered here are, so let's see. So Brandon Straka he's got 840,000 followers. This person, 1.9 million followers. And this is an interesting account because I follow him. And 1.9 million followers, and they just post. I don't know. Most of the stuff's just really cool, goofy, fun content. So, this is kind of just a fun account. Oh, a meeting reminder. Miss Jody, which we already talked about that, so we're good. So, but she does post other people's stuff, right? She's finding this content out online and just posting it, and then more people are seeing it. So, but it does say DM for credit. So if you post something of yours, hopefully she's giving credit. And I'll get into that in a minute. But, here's one. This is White Dogs Are Our Best Friends. And I don't want to post that. Yeah. So, doggy video. Another one with a clips. Oh, I guess you got community noted. image from 2012 taken. So she posted, this was taken in 2012 by Michael Menifee at the Navajo Nation near the things. And she gets community noted saying that this image was taken. Okay, that's interesting. So this is an account that just kind of posts goofy stuff. Sassafras, that's 278,000, is a very strong Trump account. There's Mary. We talked about her earlier. She's the doctor. She's 425,000 followers. Greg, here's another goofy account. Thank goodness us small accounts have to stick together, but Greg's got 1 million followers. He's just a goofball. And I don't know if that's actually him or not. That's his picture. But yeah, Greg's kind of a goofy one. Generate picture of me as a Lego Good morning to everyone except for the people not mourning for, or people it's not mourning for. All right. So, just so. And then you got Tara Bull. She is a crypto person, but she also just posts. A lot of these accounts are just posting goofy stuff. I mean, they're just finding content on here and they're just constantly posting. Right. But there are accounts that there's a couple other things going on. Let me see if I can find. So this is Gretchen Smith. And Gretchen Smith posted this. One of the things that the big accounts do. So Gretchen Smith has a charity or had a charity. I'm not even sure. She had a charity where she was helping veterans and called Code of Vets, and I think she's still doing it. Yeah, I mean the thing is still there. There's Code of Vets. That's Gretchen. And then, but what she said is my personal experience. The largest accounts are in DN rooms together, and they repost each other's accounts. Some will undo the repost after a few days, but they're very selective and private about who they invite into the DM rooms. I can tell which accounts have been invited based on explosion engagement and who they are reposting. I did this for a while. It stopped. The egos are unbelievable. Oh, I believe that. It went to my head for a while, but I got a dose of reality because when you're trying to do this and you do get a bump and you do get a bunch of views on something, it's a good feeling, right? You get that hit of dopamine. You're like, all right, somebody, but and I can see it going to people's heads. I really can. Like, I think my stuff's funny and I think I've got some good stuff to tell people. And I think I've got I got some really good stuff in me ready to come out. Need the eyeballs. But so yeah, I mean, there is an ego thing about it. Absolutely. But it is definitely like there is a behind the scenes good old boys club. I totally believe that. But if the algorithm can make it so you can push smaller creators out there, then I'm all for it. And then so this is Clinton. He's got 134. So, on the bigger, he's one of the bigger, bigger creators. It's like 134,000. Like, exactly. I'm out here doing this alone, doing this. A lot of them would fall apart without their retreat groups. So we've got that. And then There's another one too of a smaller creator that showed that was really interesting, and hopefully I saved it. Okay, so this is another one here. Matt Graver. Matt is a very small creator. He has less followers than me. So here is Matt. So Matt posts. They also steal content and don't give credit. They screenshot your original content and post it as their own, or say, I was sent this by a follower, so I don't know who to give credit to. No libs, a follower posted it and you did a screenshot and didn't give them credit. Could have retweeted it. And that's the thing on X, you can retweet things and that will actually give the views to the actual original creator of whatever it is, right? You could go and retweet something and that will give them the view as well, right? But most of these accounts don't do that. They will cut it. If you have a watermark on something, they'll cut out your watermark, or they'll crop it so they don't see your watermark. Or and if you've got a big obnoxious watermark right in the middle of it, nobody wants to see that. So you're kind of losing things. So he posted this, then the other accounts retweet it, right? So the other big accounts retweet it. He got 65 views. Then Libs of TikTok stole his content and got 360,000. And then another account retweeted that and got 135,000. So this was the original post. My son's classroom. It's world history and social studies. No American flag at all, but there's a bunch of other flags, right? So he's showing that, hey, there's no American flags in this room. Okay. But there is all this other stuff. So 65 views, 1 heart, 1 comment. You know, like I said, Matt, as we look at Matt's got 661 followers, right? What happens when Libs of TikTok gets it? Parents, you must visit your kids' classrooms to find out what's going on there. You might be shocked by what you see. They simply aren't putting up political flags representing their new religion. They're also removing American flags. So look at the cutout though. Look at the post, right? Doesn't even show who the original person that posted it in. Here's a screenshot with Matt's post, right? Here's this post with all of that cut out. No credit to the original person. Then we get Juanita Broderick, who's famous for the whole Bill Clinton thing, who retweets this. So they get 160. Like I said, they get 169,000 views. Libs of TikTok at this point is 321,000 views. Matt, 65. So where are they at right now? Let's go. Let me go see if I can find where these posts are right now. And as you can see, let's see how many views did this tweet get? Post or whatever you want to call it. So it's still only got 1,172 views on this one where he's saying this stuff is going on. It's only got 1,100 views. So obviously we got some work to do with the algorithm. So let's go see if we can find that though. Give Matt a follow so we can bump his follower count up here. What? I'm sorry, I just saw this. Politico. Our corrupt leadership. Vance tries to tether Harris to Biden during Michigan rally. Tries to. Community note. The headline states J.D. Vance tries to tether Harris to Biden. Harris is currently President Biden's vice president. Um, yeah. When the media is just going to run cover for an entire candidate, then there's no reason that that candidate needs to do anything. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's got some funny stuff here. New Tesla. This is the new Tesla, I guess. Cyber scooter? Cyber, I don't know. Retweet that. Boom. I want to find this where. What was the date on that? Can we? Let me scroll through. Scrolling. Oh my gosh, we still only got. That's got 52. So, all right, where was this one? That was 4 days ago. So it was a while back. Scrolling. Matt follows Drunk 3PO2 because he reposted his thing about his channel getting demonetized. That's cool. I like this guy. All right. Keep going though. Come on. Yeah, he definitely posts more than me. And that's the thing too, is I gotta, I don't have time to post all day. Hey, good night, Michael. See you tomorrow, Thursday, or tomorrow. Tomorrow, we'll take that thing down. Okay. I want to go back. I want to find that original one and see how many views he's got now. Which still scrolling. I'm still. Bear with me. Goofy stuff on here, that's for sure. All right, let's see. And we got to be getting close because we're on August 22nd. Like August 20th, I would think. First, saw that the first one had a couple, multiple hundreds of thousands of views. And I'm still scrolling. Come on, where you at? Is that it? Nope. I'm gonna find it now. I'm committed. I am committed. But dude, this guy posts all the time. I mean, it's mostly reposting, which I do that quite a bit too. I do repost a lot, but oh man, wait, where'd it go? Come on. Oh, I haven't found it yet. Can't give up now. I can't give up. I'd have to. Oh yeah, so that's what these big creators do. They take your original content and have no way of following it back to the original person who posted it. Damn it. Really? It can't be. Come on. I have to give up. Might have to give up looking for it. That sucks. Matt, why didn't you post a link to your content? Yeah, all right. Give up. Damn it. So yeah, so hopefully changes the algorithm around and we can maybe get some more growth. All right, I am giving up. Should have pinned that. And that thing. Crazy. So yeah, that Politico thing though. How about that? Politico is saying, I can't believe that that the vice president. She's part of the decision making part of the administration, right? Right? I mean, that's how that works. Uh, I'm totally confused about that. That doesn't make any sense at all. How Politico would be interesting about Pelosi there. All right. What else do we have going on? Can also be used as a ramp for oncoming traffic. Yes. Oh, let Okay, so there used to be a Robert E. Lee statue in Louisiana, in New Orleans, but that statue got replaced. Statue got replaced with this. It is a horned monkey with a tail lizard thing. I don't even know what to say. At some point in time, we split off into this alternate universe where everything is just completely screwed up. That's what it is. That's what it is. Oh, yeah, that's right. We have got Karen Reed. Totally forgot about that. That's even in my thing. Intro was Karen Reed had the family of John O'Keefe has decided to file a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit this time, for wrongful death. So if I'd have been absolutely prepared, I would have had that already. But I don't. So I can bring that up. Where's the, none of the news stories ever give you a link to it. Okay, here we go. No, that's not it. Got all these links, but none of the links actually link to the darn document. Okay, will this give it to me? Because they also filed suit against the bars that hit him. Okay, here we go. Do full screen. load it. Yeah. Right. Okay, so glance through this. So here is the actual document. So the plaintiffs are Paul, the surviving brother. So he's the main person that instigated this or put this up there. And then John O'Keefe II, his dad, Margaret, his mother, Haley Furbush, which was the niece that he had adopted, and then the nephew was part of it too, but maybe not. Oh, the plaintiff Margaret. Okay, that's the mother. It's the surviving mother of JJ and Kristen at relevant times. Haley is their surviving niece. What about the nephew? Huh. That's weird. So the defendants, CNC Hospitality, which is CF McCarthy's, is an independently owned restaurant in Canton. Get that a little bigger. Then Waterfall Bar and Grill is another defendant, and then Karen Reed. And they're calling John O'Keefe JJ. JJ was the middle of 3 children. He was a 3rd generation Boston police officer. They were dating at the time. January 28th, the plaintiff arrived at CF McCarthy's. They sold her alcohol. They sold her more alcohol, which, I mean, you go back to the trial and you watch where, Yuki sat there and said, oh, she poured that drink into her thing and then she drank it and then she poured that drink into it. You can't see that. That video was crap. That whole testimony was crap. So then it says that they basically overserved her while she was showing signs of intoxication, while the testimony was actually that she wasn't showing signs of intoxication. And they entered the bar together and they left. And they overserved her and she got in her car and she drove to 34 Fairview. As a result of Reed's SUV hitting JJ on January 29, 2022, JJ was knocked down onto the ground in front of 34 Road, suffered serious injury, and died, which actually the evidence did not show that at all relevant times. So they basically said that she knew she hit him. She did it on purpose. Failed to use any care to avoid creating an unreasonable risk. Voluntary, took an obvious risk under the circumstances, knew that death or serious injury was predictable, persisted in a clear negligent course, and was deliberately inattentive when there was a risk of great and immediate danger. And she basically knew that she hit him with her SUV. Nevertheless, she woke up JJ's 14-year-old niece, Kaylee, and talked about his death, which is, I mean, this is. So I guess they were running up against the statute of limitations, so they were going to have to file this. They wanted her convicted before they filed this, but they didn't get that. So, and then basically the second part, so they're filing wrongful death against CF McCarthy's. This is all CF. This is the waterfall, so they're getting wrongful death against the waterfall. And then Karen Reed saying not only did she do this on purpose, kill him on purpose, and then basically her defense that so the negligent of infliction of emotional distress. They're saying that her mother suffered emotional distress because of all this, because of what C.F. McCarthy's did. They're also saying because of, and it's in here, we don't necessarily need to get to it, but basically part of this emotional distress was because Karen Reed said in her defense that it wasn't her that did it. It was because of the other people. It was the reckless infliction of emotional distress. That because she blamed the McCabe's and the McAlberts, because of them blaming them, that was inflicting emotional stress on people, and she should pay. Crazy. And then what's funny is I did this whole video showing, I can find it here because profile and lies. There was somebody that was saying the other day that obviously she did it because there was pieces of taillight embedded in the guy's shirt. And I'm like, so I wrote back to show me where in the testimony that actually happened. Like show me testimony where I went to show me an actual testimony where that happened. Like show me somebody that testified. Yeah, here it is. So this was somebody saying, family of Officer O'Keefe fought a wrongful death. I ultimately think the defendants will be found liable. So this guy is dip stuff. Thinks that she's going to get it. So then finally this person down here, let's see. Follow me here. Broken taillight, microscopic pieces of said taillight in John's clothing. Why do people ignore the evidence presented? So I said, find one moment of actual testimony where somebody testified they removed microscopic pieces of taillight from his clothing. Please point to this actual testimony, not loudly saying it, actual testimony. Day and witness, please. I should probably reply. It doesn't exist. And why do I know it doesn't exist? Because I have a video showing that it doesn't exist. This one right here.
The jurors in the Karen Reed murder trial
This
were
is
hung
my
on
video.
count 2, manslaughter. It's also been reported that the tiny fragments of taillight reportedly found in the victim's clothing played a big role for these jurors wanting to convict. But what was the real testimony.
Your testimony from another
Testimony.
analyst, Christina Hanley. Pieces of red and clear plastic that were microscopic in size that were found within Mr. O'Keefe's clothing. The same pieces of plastic contained within the defendant's tailor. Now, starting with item 7-18.18.
So 7-18.18 scrapings, trace material recovered from the victim's clothing.
And those particular items, as far as the debris, that was provided to your unit within the lab by who?
I believe it was Maureen.
Maureen Hartnett testified she scraped debris from the victim's clothing into a container. No pictures of this debris are introduced, nor do we hear testimony about what part of the clothing was scraped. There's also no testimony from this person who actually examined the clothing about anything embedded in the clothing.
In addition to those, I also took a scraping of each of the materials, and that involves taking the item, using something like a flat metal spatula, and scraping down whatever adhering materials left on the item into a glassine packet.
So basically, they scraped debris off of the clothing, and somebody made a really good point the other day too, that we don't have any kind of evidence log or anything that, it was 6 days. It was 6 days that it took for the evidence to get into, it was 6 days for evidence to get that evidence, the clothing evidence, to get from the officers to the lab. So what happened? Or maybe it was even more than that. I think they said it was 6 days to dry. And then, it was multiple other days before it was actually got to the lab. So, I mean, here's the issue with this civil lawsuit. One, you've got C.F. McCarthy's and the Waterfall involved now, right? So they are going to have stringent legal teams plus Karen. So you're going to have depositions from all of the witnesses, right? You're not going to have a judge that will say that this evidence can't be gathered or that evidence can't be gathered. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be now there is a lower bar as far as establishing negligence, right? So it's not beyond a reasonable doubt. It's a preponderance of evidence, I believe. It's just a lower bar to get somebody convicted of and held responsible, but there's also a lot more discovery that can happen. There's a lot more evidence that can be brought in. So, so yeah, we will see on that. And so basically the Karen Reed case is never going to end for a long, long time, because civil suits take years and years to wrap through. So now that this is part of it, it's not going to be dismissed. It will be adjudicated fully. It will fully be adjudicated. So the Karen Reed case is going to hang on for multiple years. So, I mean, what? And unless there's a big breakthrough. Now, if there's a big breakthrough in some form or another with this federal investigation, or if there's a big breakthrough in the next criminal trial, then that could put a dampener on the civil case, right? That could change the civil case. But if there's not, then this case is going to wrap on for years and years and years. So I just saw this too. Robert Kennedy. I don't know if you guys saw that Robert Kennedy thing. But he posted this a little while ago. Well, this morning. Looks like Mark Zuckerberg has joined the ranks of the crazed conspiracy theorists who claim that the Biden administration pressured Facebook to censor dissent during COVID. So Mark Zuckerberg is one of these conspiracy theorists who now says that, yeah, it was pressured by the government. Man, the government is involved in all of this. Really is. And I'm gonna this week I've got all my footage laid out. We got a couple more scenes to shoot, but I got enough footage to do my trailer. I'm gonna make the kick assest trailer that I possibly can make. Hope that it's really cool and go on a big media blitz, and then I got to start laying out episodes or scenes, actually do full scenes instead of just a crazy but interesting. And following this person, here's another YouTube thing. I just saw this here too. This Tesla boomer mama. And she is a fangirl of Elon, fierce Tesla retail shareholder advocate. YouTube demonetized the Tesla boomer mama channel. Not that it ever was much. Lifetime, it was exactly $2,874, which is a lot more than we got. But anyway, and I still have no clue why. No problem. I'll publish my videos exclusively on X. So thank you for contacting us about your recent suspension from YouTube Partner Program. Our team carefully reviewed your appeal and your channel, but we're not able to re-accept you into the YouTube Partner Program at this time. You can find specific feedback from our reviewers in your YouTube studio. So, I mean, this is it's random how they're doing this, man. Another one, saw your merit on a significant portion of your channel is not in line with our YouTube Partner Program. So, I mean, I'm wondering if we ever do actually get monetized, how long that will take. 10 months ago, oh, they found you worthy of their thought police already then. Well, me today. Same crap text. And I don't. And as we get closer to the election, it's just going to go up. We're going to see more and more channels just get stripped. And YouTube is they're the leader right now. They're the ones that lead the video intake right now. I mean, especially in the younger demographic. But I mean, I'm on YouTube. I listen to YouTube people on YouTube all day long. So, and I'm not. I was on Rumble. I have stock in Rumble. I believe in Rumble, but it's also harder to listen to. It's harder to. It's just not as friendly as YouTube for some reason, and it's not as friendly setting up streams on Rumble. Like right now, I bet you my Rumble chat on Rumble right now. Like we are broadcasting on Rumble, but I'm pretty sure that my yeah, see, it says I'm on Northland Friday night. None of the things that and so it's just I guess I need to go in there and reset up my my regular live stream thing, but it's cumbersome. It's a cumbersome process to set this up and do it correctly. I've got a locals channel. I've got 18 followers on Rumble. I believe in Rumble. I want to believe in Rumble. I want Rumble to be just a badass operating platform. I want Rumble to be the best platform that's out there. I want them to blow up YouTube. But I mean, right now it's hard to do that. It's hard to see how that's happening. And it stinks. I mean, it stinks that and because these companies get so big, they get so big for their britches, bigger, to use an old euphemism, but they get so huge that they think they're untouchable. And then, like, I've seen recently stuff about Amazon where people are running into issues like returning things and getting charged for stuff that they're supposedly returned, and they get a wrong item, and somebody the other day got their credit card got stolen, or their credit card got hacked, and somebody used it to get a Prime account, and they're using the online chat, and they ended up not getting it taken off, right? And it was actually an Amazon credit card, I guess, or I think it was an Amazon credit card. They ended up not getting credited. They ended up losing their own Prime account. I mean, it was just a mess. It was a complete freaking mess. That, because they've outsourced their customer service. I mean, this is the richest company on the planet, and they've outsourced their customer service to some of the worst customer service folks ever. And yeah, it's just that. Okay, this was spotted in Germany. This is like 5 hours old. Looks like something breaking up in the atmosphere. That's pretty cool. Seen a few of those in my lifetime. Always a neat thing when you see somebody. Most of the time, it's just something streaking across the sky. One time I remember it was back in my old apartment building, and I was at my neighbor's house next door. Her name was Melanie. And standing there and looked out the window and saw this green streak going across the sky. And so I said, "Hey, look at that." And then she had a couple of little kids, so we all looked out the window. It was winter, pretty dark out. And yeah, just this green streak that went all the way across the sky. It was really cool, like a meteorite or something getting broken up in the atmosphere. So that's cool when you can see those. They don't happen, lucky to see one or two in your lifetime. Now, shooting stars, you see those quite a bit, but some of that other stuff. Yeah. So, all right, what else we got? I think I'm about there. It's just one trial that's been going on right now, and I talked a little bit about it the other day, which is this Ellis guy in Las Vegas, and been watching Brandy's coverage because Brandy Churchwell kicks butt, and go to her channel here. 5. So this dude is just a freaking nutcase, man. He was a city, like he had a city administrator or something, and he was and this journalist had journalist was writing bad things about him, right? Like these, was basically this investigative journalist was writing these articles about how corrupt he was, and he killed the guy. So, and that's what they're saying is he killed the guy. Well, I think what happened is he was going to, his lawyers were not going to, did not want to question him on the stand. The reason is because they knew he was going to lie. This is a speculation that they knew he was going to lie. And so they basically let him get up on the stand and tell his story with no questions. He just got to ramble on. Like,
notes, of course, of your
yes, I am. And his heart was stabbed.
So this is the guy.
I think that's, I don't know if anybody could just do that, right, without some kind of training, without some kind of expertise.
So, and there's a few times, all right, so I've never seen somebody be able just to get up on the stand, just talk and tell their story. So let's see if there were a few times that he was objected to. So let's see, 445. Find some objections around here because he likes to argue with the judge.
Admitted by stipulation. I don't have an objection to him using those.
Right, because he likes to argue too, like argue with the judge when he gets objected to.
Please have it admitted.
Yes.
Again, this spreadsheet, I think really, it's the beginning.
Yes.
So I'd ask if I could please have it admitted.
X2 is being proposed. Is there any further objection?
I'll stand by my prior argument.
It's admitted.
All right, well, he got that admitted, so on, see if there's another one.
My objections just about every time, because
it's weird. He just rambles and rambles and rambles on about.
At this and finally objections, they started to fight back in various ways.
And so he basically blames, like, there is this giant conspiracy against him.
They started making complaints to my assistant county manager, or county management, trying to get my assistant county manager to stop me. And we had meetings, he and I said, this is not okay.
So he's trying to fight, he says, for corruption about people, like when houses and stuff go to probate, people were doing these dirty things of basically getting the stealing the houses from the rightful owners for a cheap price and then turning around and flipping them for like double the price or whatever. So
the smaller counties, they have a setup where the public administrators, all they earn is a commission based on the estates they put through the process.
Yeah, so he was
but not so with Clark County.
So he was a public administrator, that's right. And so he dealt with these probate things. But man, he's a nutcase. But all right, so he gets up on the stand and then he does all this.
And I'd raised.
So the detective
Detective Jappy on that criminal investigation. I'd also filed a complaint with the Nevada Real Estate Division as well.
So this detective is against him. The people who works against him are convinced him against him. It's this huge conspiracy.
The search warrant that Detective Jappy had done.
Trying to find that for you right now.
No, that's not called.
So yeah, Brandy gets
What the
pissed
prosecutors
at one
have to
point.
say about this once. I would have to, yeah, this, because Compass Realty, what I would be, oh my gosh, I would be, oh.
She can't even talk.
Oh, I would have to, yeah, that is one of those moments where I would, all the things that I wanted to look into were no longer being looked into. Isn't that coincident? Yeah, it's not a coincidence, moron. It's because your ass got locked up because you murdered him. Oh my gosh, the self-importance is like, just, oh. Pray for him. It's quite a coincidence that after Jeff Gehrman was killed, then all of a sudden, the stuff he wanted to look into against Compass Realty was no longer being looked into.
Yeah, so he's basically saying that there's this giant conspiracy. All these
The
people
jury
are
will be the
against him.
ones to determine what the
Yeah, here he started arguing
I'm
about.
just going to explain.
Yeah, he wanted to explain somebody's testimony.
Okay, I'll go on. So, Detective Jappy obtained the search warrant into me, being able to now from that point forward track me starting August 17th. And it seems to, at least until September 7th, right? I had requested all the surveillance logs when I was representing myself. And originally I'd received only 3 from that whole time.
Objection.
Sure.
Sure.
I'm not sure why that would be relevant, so I'm going to sustain the relevance objection at this point.
Sure. Oh, and I guess this goes to a comment that Detective Jappy had made, Your Honor. Detective Jappy had said that they performed.
The objection was sustained.
Oh, okay, but
If you want to take it up at the end of the day, I'm happy to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to explain. Okay. So, can I speak about what he had said?
No, shut up.
I mean, as far as okay, well.
Oh, he's getting pissed.
Yeah, I thought that if it was testified in court, that
there we go.
I could repeat his testimony in court. Is that still hearsay?
Well, generally, I don't like witnesses to say, this is what another witness said.
Sure,
I mean, the jury will be the ones to determine what the testimony was, but if you have something to add based on his testimony.
Exactly right. So in order to provide context for what I want to provide next, I just have to remind them of what his testimony was. That's all. Is that okay?
Well, that's exactly what I don't allow witnesses to do, is tell
Don't
the
let you
jury
do
what
that.
another witness testified to. You can say generally, but it's not appropriate to inform the jury what another witness testified to, unless you have a transcript of that testimony.
All right, so what I'll do then is I will ask if we could share now. So it came to my attention that
guy is a 100% narcissist. This is like narcissistic completely. I mean, he gets up here and just goes on and on and on. And then the next day they get up, they cross-examine him. He's got an excuse for everything, except for the fact that, you've never hung out with the guy who was writing stories about you. You've never seen him or anything. How did your DNA get underneath his fingernails? It was planted there. Yeah, okay, it was planted there. So there's all these people that are supposedly in on this. He lost his primary election, so he wasn't going to be in the position he was already in. So he lost his election. He was so he was only going to be in office for another couple of months. And then supposedly there was another article that this guy was going to come out with. And he ended up going to his house, stabbing him. But we are now on verdict watch, right? And you will see, show you this, because this is Brandy's stream. Okay, that's Brandy's stream for tomorrow. It was today. So they got the case yesterday. I believe she's got a clock. 5 hours and 46 minutes. Okay. Of deliberations. And then some point, so there's this other guy, Wade, who got convicted and was sentenced to death today. So some point in time, it was earlier, but they actually came back and wanted some additional evidence. And so it's possible that this guy getting on this stand and doing this narcissistic ranting, that he was able to convince at least one juror that he might not be guilty of this murder, because they're already asking for additional evidence. I bet you the word evidence is talked about a lot. Yes. So, laptop. Let's see. Laptop. Okay. So, yeah, here we go.
Both sides. Mr. Tellis is present. I got a note from the jury. It's been marked as court's exhibit number 25. Has a few questions. It says, can we get another laptop to review the digital evidence? So I'm assuming they want a second one.
So yeah, they want a second laptop to try and review some evidence. So they're going through the evidence.
And so, we have it? Okay, so I'm assuming there's no objection to the court having the court officer take back the second laptop. Okay. Then the next few questions are, the first one is, can we get the side-by-side walk comparison video from the closing statement?
So in the closing statement, there was a video of him walking and then the person walking. Like they have the guy in video. He was wearing a hat and he was all hidden, right? So they can see a person. So I guess in the closing, they used a video which showed him walking, and it showed the other person walking, the killer walking, and then showed Tellis walking. And so, but that was a demonstrative that was used in closing, so they can't, not evidence. It's
Obviously,
not
the
actually
closing
an
statement
evidence.
is not evidence. Then the next question is, could we get the exhibit number for the Jeff Garriman news article videos about Mr. Tellis? I believe that's in evidence.
It is in evidence. It's the lowest number of flash drives.
I just want the parties to agree before I answer.
I'm not positive, but that's what I think it's on the lowest number. Of course,
Do you want to approach and look at the exhibit list?
Yes. It's just going to say flash drive, Judge.
I am.
Oh yeah, Brandy's kind of beside herself that they sit through this whole trial, and you would think that there are people.
What? This is making my stomach hurt. Somebody thinks that it's possibly not him.
So yeah. So sit through this whole trial. This narcissistic dude goes on this. I mean, he talked for hours about, and a lot of it was about nothing to do with any of this. Just all this, and then he would say, like, I would never. And then they'd be like, objection, you can't say that. And he'd be like, well, I don't think I'm not the type of person that would, on and on and on and on and on. I mean, it's just the definition of a narcissist. So if by chance that there is a narcissist on the jury, then maybe that gamut pays off. Maybe he actually will convince somebody that he didn't do it. Because all you need is one. All you need is one juror to hold the line, not buy it, and get away with murder. So yeah, so where are we at? I believe they have deliberated now for about 9 hours, because I think they went, at one point she found out later on they went home without actually saying anything. So we're somewhere in the 9-hour range, I believe. They have been deliberating. So it sounds like they're having some issues as far as deliberating on this case. So anyway, all right. It's 8:00. I went on longer than I thought I was going to, talking about absolutely nothing and a whole bunch of stuff. So, I didn't show you that. Yeah, there it is. 9 hours, 45 minutes. They probably went home a little before this, but it's still like they've been deliberating a long time. Something that should have been a pretty cut and dry case. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, all right. I am going to go find me some dinner and go home. But I'll be back on a Thursday. More fun. I've got a little more footage to lay out. We'll probably do that on Thursday, and then maybe there'll be something else that happens. Good night to you. And yeah, I talk to you all later. And slowly we're gonna get there. We're gonna build up our subscribers, and yeah, make this thing actually happen. So all right. Thank you. Good night.